Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final series of this particular show. And yes, because we are generous, we give you 3 best of 3s on this Wednesday show. We're ramping things up right here in this tournament, and it's my pleasure to bring you from Team New Star Hoso, it is Jjakji. God, I hope I said that right. It's in the blue trunks, and he is playing Terran to the east of this terminus. Versus his opponent, it is Slayers MMA. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran to the south.
Codes champions going at it right now on Terminus. The version of the map doesn't really matter for this matchup. I mean, it's a mirror. You don't need to worry about it. And usually you do see more passive games, though. Of course, because it is Terminus, it is a slower, drawn-out version of any map, in any map pool. Because it is, of course, very, very big. But the thing is, they have spawned relatively close to each other, and that does actually affect the Terran versus Terran matchup here. You may see aggression come out from either one of them if they know, of course, where their opponent has spawned, because it's easier to get towards in terms of, you know, Banshee, Medivac, Hellion, whatever. But the most likely scenario here, as I say, would be to go into Marine expansion, but it's actually Refinery first by both of these guys. So we're going to be seeing double aggression coming out.
Double aggression. That's my favorite kind of aggression. Apollo, how did you know?
It is good because it's going to be fireworks in this early stage of the game, and I don't know which way or who's going to get hit by one first. Yes,
do be careful on Bonfire Night, folks. But this is going to be epic one way or the other. Jjakji. So his history past that Code S win is actually not that great.
Yeah, unfortunately so. He dropped down into Code A, and I think he won his first game in Code A, and then I'm not sure about the other results after that. But yeah, he went from to the top to the bottom pretty fast. But that's GSL, man. It's very unforgiving, that kind of tournament system.
Yeah, it's quite dangerous one way or the other to actually play in that tournament. It's brutal. It really is, and there's so many people who are trying to get in. I have to wonder, it's like, but all of these guys trying to break into the most brutal tournament imaginable just to get absolutely slaughtered. Those guys are masochistic and determined, I've got to say.
Yeah, and one of the most consistent players is playing right now, which is, of course, MMA, which is why he's so good. He's just so consistent. He hardly ever plays bad. And we do see the first scout coming out here from MMA. Nobody's scouted anybody yet. And we do have a Marine coming out, which should, at this level of play, push the SCV back. But if he slips up, then of course the SCV can go in.
Yeah, he might. Well, let's have a look at... Oh, he slipped up.
Well, what he did is actually targeted fire the automaton straight away. And then, like, didn't kill the SCV, so the SCV
he actually he shot the robot? Well, that's not a very smart thing to do. And, well, in it goes and gets all the information it could possibly desire. And Jjakji, on the other hand, knows bugger all. And right now we've got a 1-1-1 here for the moment from MMA.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to stick I mean, he's only got 1 gas, so he has to expand after doing this. But he can open up, of course, with Hellions from the front, Banshee from the back. You can usually pull all the Marines to the main base because of the Banshee and then run in from the front. So, but the thing is, though, that he knows what he's playing up against compared to Jjakji, who has no idea, which is actually amazing for MMA. We do see Medivac, Hellion, and Starport coming out, so we will see a Medivac come and pick units up, maybe heal and then drop, of course, is what they're intended to do. But more importantly, they can't attack air. Medivacs are friendly units, and the Banshee could do a lot of damage here.
I love the fact that MMA's buildings are branded BlizzCon 2011. That's absolutely fantastic.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are. They actually are. I'm not sure. Maybe you might have the icons turned off, but his buildings are branded BlizzCon, and you can see it right there quite clearly on the screen. But what we are seeing is that Banshee coming in, and there's going to be no Banshee from Jjakji. He's going to go for a Medivac instead, and is going to start to push out here a little bit.
Oh, that was beautiful play by MMA. Didn't quite get the Hellion kill, but what he did... Oh, he does.
It does it.
That's really good, because he had Marines to bait them, but actually counter-bait comes in here. That's kind of funny, but Banshee will help out here in this scenario.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose it, though. Let's be honest, MMA's probably not going to lose that to Unstim Marines. That would be silly. And there's the crush coming in here from MMA. He gets the nice follow-up there. And now we see how much damage he can do, because he's just gone right for the mineral line and is going to start to work on Jjakji, and will be able to pick off quite a few by the looks of it. But, oh, I like this. He's actually going to drop the Marines directly underneath the Banshee. Nice little maneuver.
And Hellions aren't going to get in. One does come to defend, but the control from MMA, top notch. 8 kills already. Marines at the front have to go back, and he does expand behind this, but he does get the better end of this. You know, Jjakji was blind, he had no idea what was going on, and he kind of walks into that aggression, unfortunately, and gets the crapper deal out of it. Of course, because now a lot of SCVs have been killed. 4 SCVs, 4 Marines. Really nice opening here, and the expansion does come down for Jjakji, but of course it is a lot later.
Yes, and he has a weaker economy in both respects. He lost a number of SCVs on that mineral line. The Banshee did a good job. The Banshee's actually still alive for MMA as well, which is even better. The Viking for Jjakji gets away just in time too, and both of these guys fixing up their air units. Don't want to lose them. Everything in this matchup counts. It's a mirror. You can't just throw away units and give the numerical advantage to your opponent.
And it looks like MMA is about 30 seconds ahead of his opponent, who's just now finishing up with his second gas, compared to MMA, who finished that 30 seconds ago. Also has tank out, Vikings as well, so he's very, very safe. Will not be really looking to do any significant pushes anytime soon, probably just take a third base. But he can start to ramp up the barracks production now, as he has expanded and now saturating that base. Get Stim going, get the reactors coming down. And likewise, on the other hand, we do have Jjakji still staying on just Marine Hellion for the time being. So he could actually be looking for a drop here. I mean, he does have the medevac too, but he's going to have to go the long way around here, as anything coming to the natural third base area is going to get picked upon quite easy.
Yep, scan going down from MMA as well, and doesn't really get him a huge amount of information. We've got a couple of Vikings in the center as well that will be able to deny any drop that comes in from the closer air position. A couple of Vikings from Jjakji as well wants to not get caught out by exactly the same thing, knowing that MMA tends to go for that kind of thing. And we've got mostly just Marine tank, and both of these guys are vying for air control at the moment.
Yeah, they are, and air control is so important. Of course, drops the Banshee becoming, you know, useless or useful. The thing is that scan from MMA did reveal that, of course, Hellion and Marines are still out there somewhere, so he is in a defensive posture. And going past the Xel'Naga Tower, that's when he loses it. Of course, a drop can come in from behind here, so he is playing a little bit dangerous here as he moves out, but with a couple of tanks near completion of siege mode, he can actually put damage to the front out of tech, Jjakji, who's only on Marine Hellion, so it's actually not good against what he has at the current time.
Yeah, this is very, very true, unfortunately. Got more factories being added on here for Jjakji as well, so looking to play a very mechanized style, but also with Marines in the mix as well. The question is, does he abandon them all? It looks like he does. He's going Blue Flame Hellion, then double Tech Lab on those factories.
Yeah, this is actually a really nice play from Jjakji. He was actually caught in because he's got a faster third base. He has no solid tech on the ground and can easily be exploited within the next couple of minutes or so because of that. You know, the higher Viking count is with MMA. He has the tank count too. But the thing is, as the game goes later on, Jjakji's production will kick in. Jjakji will have a stronger mech army eventually. But right now, that's not quite the case. And MMA is pushing forward now. And he can hit a timing. He actually scans and sees no units again. He could even know that that third base is down by seeing there's no units on the front.
Yeah, and the Banshee's going to come in just to help out here. And air superiority in favor of them. And having air superiority is so important when you've got tanks in the mix as well, without question. Bunker's now going to go down, and a hard contain is going to end up getting set up right here. Is there a drop coming in? There is. There's a 4 Hellion Blue Flame drop coming to the back of this base, which is woefully unprepared for that.
Yeah, that's going to do a lot of damage here. I mean, he does have units coming out, but not in time. But likewise, there's a lot of damage being dealt down by MMA, who's got a whole position onto the natural bit. He pulls the SCVs incredibly fast here, and there's not enough damage done. And he's going to push this back.
Yeah, no problem. He's got the tanks and the Marines now moving in. Really fast reactions there by MMA. And now the threat is here. The Orbital Command is starting to take damage from this errant Banshee, and enough Vikings in position to push any attempt back to go through there, with the tanks having full range. This is a little bit grim. Now, Viking has been picked off. A nice pick off there by Jjakji. Now gains a little bit of air superiority, and actually those tanks are undeploying at just potentially the wrong time here, and Jjakji going for it, goes for the surround, and is able to take out one tank, looks to take out the second, and isn't able to go for it. He's backing off from it, taking a huge amount of damage in the process.
Man, 8 Marines inside those 2 bunkers have done so much damage. They are heroes. Though Jjakji does hold on. MMA set up all those bunkers because he thought he didn't know what he was playing against, so he didn't think anything. He just thought he was playing against a standard play, but he's playing against mech, so a lot of that containment was useless there for the longer term. And we really wanted Marines to run into that, but that's not quite the case. But now MMA has his own third base up. The unit tab shows us 57 SCVs versus just the 45 now of Jjakji, and he has been slowed down a lot on that third base. The drop did nothing, and MMA, you know, easily held that off. Does want to continue aggression though. Against mech, you have to be dropping. Imagine a drop inside the main base of Jjakji right now. Nothing can stop it. These Marines do have stim in what 20-30 seconds time, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh my, that's a drop and a half. That's got 2 tanks in the mix. So this is going to be interesting, and these close air positions are now going to benefit MMA, as we thought that they might at some point. There's also a Banshee coming in from the top here. Will eventually get shut down because that Viking is going to pick it off there, but it's got 13 kills, so it's not too bad, and that is a drop and a half. A big deployment of tanks and Marines to back that up, and it can go and ferry in another set of units to defend this. And wow, this is where Jjakji may end up falling down in this series.
The Banshee gets picked off incredibly fast. SCVs have been pulled, and with these Stim Marines, they will not last long.
No, they will not. There's quite a lot of tanks there. The deployed tank is eliminated, but look at the firepower there that's been inflicted, and down goes that one tank. Jjakji takes some horrendous losses there, and reinforcements coming in from the back. This is looking grim for Jjakji.
Yeah, MMA ripping apart this mech style, which is what you need to do. If they're not covering angles and they're just very strong at the front, you drop from the back. And he does it well now, lowering the tank count from like 8 now to 2. Well, 4 as 2 more do pop out, but he has a third base established. He has double engineering base working on 2-2, or will be as soon as +1 armor finishes.
Look at the SCV
and he has
difference.
So many barracks, and like you said, SCVs as well.
Yeah, the worker difference is huge. 30 workers have been killed by MMA, a comparison to a mere 6 by Jjakji up at this stage, and a Doom drop is on its way. He wants to go in for the kill right now, rip the heart out of Jjakji, and it looks like he's gonna be able to do so.
Oh man, he's gonna drop on top of everything. Oh my god.
Oh no. Rain and thunder down from the sky. Here it comes, and this is gonna get cleaned up so fast here by MMA, one would think. The amount of damage he can inflict is astronomical, and he smashes through the remainder of Jjakji's army. Jjakji falling to about 85 supply, and a Cloak Banshee comes out from Jjakji to actually start picking away at this, but this is still going to be hard to deal with. The scan goes down as well, and there's also aggression going down on the third base. Jjakji getting pounded from all sides here, and he doesn't have an answer to it.
Yeah, MMA played beautifully. You never fight a mech player straight up. You never take him to the late game. You kill him nice and early.
And he did. He absolutely did. Down goes another tank, and there's the GG, ladies and gentlemen. Convincing win there by MMA, and he needs convincing wins right now. You know, he faltered a little bit against Life. He still won, but gotta win that TvT. MMA's TvT is very, very strong, and he will later be going up against people that have caused him problems in the past, including, of course, Stephano.
Yeah. That's gonna, as this group again, as day goes on, weeks go on, it's gonna develop into a fantastic. Every single group has. You know, Group A was a fantastic end, Group B was a fantastic end, and I'm sure C and D will prove to be the same.
They will. Can Jjakji rally from this position, however, or will MMA take the 2-0 sweep? We'll find out after this break. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this series, the final series of this Wednesday show for IronSquid, and it's my pleasure to bring you New Star Hozo's Jjakji. He is in the blue trunks. He is playing Terran to the west of Dual Sight versus his opponent Slayers MMA, currently up 1 game in this best-of-3 series. He is in the red trunks playing Terran to the east.
Dual Sight. Mech is pretty viable here again. Aggression also very viable. We'll have to see if anybody does do it. It is a smaller map, a 2-player map. And you can get away with aggression, of course, the smaller the map. Just like Terminus. Terminus on the way they spawned is actually very similar to like right now. But of course, if it was cross position, that's a whole different story. And both of the players did do blind aggression, but sometimes it pays off if you spawn close. But this time they know exactly where each other are. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody does decide to grab that early refinery once again here, or whether there'll be a more straight up play. But on this map, defending against any form of aggression with just marine and low tech or any tech at all is actually pretty difficult. So refinery goes down first here for Jjakji again.
Yeah, but not for MMA yet, however. It's not late yet. 13, 14 would be specifically quite late. Will MMA also decide to pick up a... Yes, he's going to pick up a refinery as well, just a little bit later than his opponent.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean like, I mean, well, it does mean there's not going to be heavy aggression come out from MMA, but there could be still some. Of course, he can still grab a refinery after the factory's done and still go Cult Banshees, for example, from here. The options also that MMA has could be a regular Factory Expand, could still be Reaper Expand. There's still a lot of viable options here for him to take. But on the other hand, Jjakji has narrowed his down quite a bit, and it's going to be open for MMA to scout them too, as he has to be going for an early factory, which means he has to be going for Medivac Hellion, maybe Medivac Marine Hellion again, maybe Banshee, a single Banshee, anything along those lines.
Yeah, it looks like we may indeed see that Reaper Expand option there. MMA gets the Scout successfully here and may be able to follow that up. Also blocks a factory going down for a couple of seconds and also gets the Scout on the factory. And Jjakji has no problem with showing him that. He's like, hey, it's here. I can't interrupt my build for your shenanigans, so I'm just going to place it down. And here is the Reaper coming in from MMA.
And the second refinery behind this, so it's not a regular Reaper Expand. It may look like that to Jjakji, but that's what the actual gas can portray here.
Yes.
And then he could follow it with Cloak Banshees, actually, from this position, which is, as weird as it sounds, could still happen. We could also see the Reaper build, the Slayers build, where you go Reaper Speed, and Medivacs. So narrowing down the options now for MMA, but on the other hand, we do have Jjakji opening up with the reactor straight away. And with an X100 gas, kind of makes sense for him to throw down a starport, and then it would be for the Marine Hellion and then starport Medivac.
Yeah, not matched up with that reactor at all, so obviously not designed to swap that over just yet. I wonder if it is, Boxer's big Reaper build, but he isn't actually adding a second Reaper on here, so maybe it's not. Or maybe he puts a Marauder in and then goes for Reaper speed afterwards, but hello, what did I just find? A starport, what a great piece of information. And I slowed you the hell down as well, and we've got that Reaper now making its way in, doing a little bit of damage here and there. Shut down, but the scouting information and the delay on the starport is a great victory there, I feel.
And he sees the dying movement. He could have actually got a third SCV, but he chose to actually go and see if the gas had been taken instead, which is a really nice move there by MMA. And now knows that, okay, cool, that you're basically working with only minerals if you're going to throw down that starport. Maybe you can get a single Banshee out, but it won't have Cloak. I'm going to be absolutely fine. And we do have the starport coming down for MMA here, but he is on double gas. So he could actually go for Cloak Banshee still. The Marauder is going to be pretty confusing too. Reaper Expand into Marauders, that's actually very confusing here.
Yeah, and Jjakji's like, I have no idea what's going on at this point, and Jjakji seems unwilling to scan, actually. This is something that I've noticed from him. MMA has no problem with that. He'll quite happily throw that in there, but Jjakji doesn't seem to do an awful lot and has to make assumptions as a result of that. He's not able to get into the base. I have to wonder if that's going to be rather unfortunate for him going into this game, especially since this is this very weird build, I suppose, coming in from MMA, who's actually throwing Vikings down.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's got like 400 gas, which is really, really weird. You could call it bad unless you do something with it now, and he's still not really using it either. So, really interested to see what he's trying to do here. Two Hellions chasing down in the center, do run into the Hellion Marine here, and will get chased all the way home.
Yeah, intriguing. This aggression coming in from Jjakji could start to threaten this, really. And there's not a huge amount here, but more to the point, I think Jjakji is just going to be able to prevent an expansion for a while and potentially expand behind that. The command center is now coming down. What is this gas for? He's just hit 500.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes no sense at the moment, but I think he's really concentrating on just defending against this little push, and then we'll use his gas after. And he kills the Medivac, which is the most important thing there, as now, the Marines can't be healed. The follow-up from this, by the way, from Jjakji is like a straight-up 1-1-1. He's gone for the starport, Vikings, he's gone for tanks, he'll get siege mode soon, and he's just trying to camp outside the natural of his opponent. But there finally is the starport switch. The tech lab is going to come down, so he will be able to go into a 1-1 version of his own with a tech lab on a factory. It can be for Cloak, actually, because he's saved up so much. And it is, yeah, and he can still get siege tanks and siege tech from here too.
I love how he's blatantly doing it in front of Jjakji. It's like Jjakji's not going to go up the ramps. It's like, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to poke you back just a little bit. I'm going to try and force you not to go up that ramp. It would be amazing if that actually remained hidden until the Banshee came out. We shall see. Does Jjakji try and go up there? Well, not with what he's got at the minute, certainly.
And this is still very, very tense here for MMA. He's expanding behind this too. Not quite using his factory yet. Is now first starts... Oh my god, he's supplied... Oh no, never mind. He was for a split second, but then it unlocked. But he does get his first tank out now too. Banshee gonna come, and he sees the Arc, which is a really, really nice move. And Siege Tech is about to be done here, so... How does he stop the siege tank? So that's the problem here. And the Banshee, of course, is going to help out, but there's so many Marines and Vikings here. Ooh, actually, Banshee going down the south here. He's going to go straight to the SCV line, and that could actually be game-ending if he manages to hold on.
Oh no, the cloak's not going to go up. He's bringing in the repairs as quickly as he can. Can he hold the tech lab? He holds the tech lab. So very important. And Jjakji, desperate to take that tech lab down, took a lot of losses in the process. That is going to finish, and he is on one orbital command. That is huge. He didn't build another orbital. He needs to save. He's only got one scan, and that was so well held there by MMA. Will he be able to hold up against that? The rest of that? Well, yes, he can, because he's got a cloak Banshee now there as well. So very good.
He's wasted so many units. Oh my god. He threw away so much to kill that tech lab, and it didn't even go down.
Get it.
Like 1,000 resources lost difference between these two guys. And he only has one scan available. There's a Banshee inside his main, there's another one coming.
Well, the Marine's about to go down as well. It's like, scan all you like. You don't have any Marines to kill my Banshee. That's the real problem there. He's got the Viking now coming in, and now will go for the scan, I would imagine. But a lot of damage has already been done here, and he can just keep throwing Banshees at his opponent if he wants.
Down.
Oh, it stays alive? Really? He's even got the cloak, actually, to continue working on this. There's another scan about to come in, so it will eventually die. There it goes, but that was damaging. That was really damaging. MMA's established his expansion. Jjakji has started his, but everything is in favor of MMA now after that disastrous attack up the ramp.
And he can now contain his opponent himself. I mean, he's got tanks, he's got the air control too, he's got more gas income than his opponent.
Two more Banshees.
Yeah, he's got more Banshees in. He's got 5 in gas. You know, MMA really pushing towards his gas income there on his natural. But he's throwing down additional barracks,
for
man.
25 seconds.
This is so sick.
Yeah, this MMA could have just gone for that SCV line and wiped it out. I'm actually very surprised that he didn't. He's working on the add-ons instead and getting in this cover from the back and looking to get this contain in place. And he does have that second Banshee that could come in. He's actually got 3 Banshees now, and the scan still isn't available, and the cloak is finally about to go down, and that will at least mean that that Banshee is going to take some damage, if not die completely. Interception comes in here from those Marines to do a little bit of damage. Another Banshee comes in. He can easily cloak both of these now, and this is grim. Jjakji's going to have a hard time holding this. He is at least building that second orbital. Another scan goes down. A Banshee is shut down, but this one stays alive, and this is ugly. It really is. Jjakji actually forced to even build a Raven here.
Yeah, not the best start to the IronSquid tournament here by Jjakji. We also see double tech labs coming down for MMA now, knowing that his opponent is playing this kind of tank-heavy style. He can easily build Marauders. He can get Stim, he can get Concussor Shells, he can get Combat Shields. But he's got this Contain, which is almost unbreakable. Like, there's nothing to stop this. Maybe Vikings can land and help, but this is so bad. If he does that, then he'll lose complete air dominance. And MMA's income's doubled his opponents. It's like 1,600 minerals compared to 700. The gas is, of course, doubled 4 versus 2. And he's about to have a +1 attack. You know, this is just everything being executed amazingly here by MMA, who's just outclassing Jjakji in this series.
He really is outclassing Jjakji, honestly. That's the only way that I can really describe it. And it was looking ugly until Jjakji basically handed the game to MMA on a silver platter by saying, I must take that tech lab down. And I guess, you know, the decision was legit. He had to take the tech lab down because he knew, I've got one orbital command. Cloak Banshee that he brazenly built right in front of Jjakji, I might add, and Jjakji didn't see it until the last possible moment. That is a game changer.
Yeah. This is, oh man, it's so bad. I'm just facepalming for Jjakji right now. I'm just thinking of his outs. What can he do here really
How
to
do you
pull
get out
this
of this?
back? He doesn't have Stim, so these Marines are useless. He has a few tanks. His advantage does lie with his tank count, but MMA has the same, if not more. He has more upgrades coming. There's like 0 outs here for Jjakji.
Yeah, this is difficult. very, very difficult. With that kind of economic dominance, I don't see how. And MMA also is just upgrading in incredible amount. You know, with double gas, if you're playing the same style, why not get the upgrade advantage? That's what gives you the edge here. He's got Stim more than halfway done. Combat Shield just kicked in, and we've got +1 upgrade already, +2 +1 coming in for MMA. Not an upgrade in sight, of course, for Jjakji, because, you know, where's he going to get the gas from to afford that?
Yeah, and the SCV count, 59 versus 29, 30 SCV difference, and that 30 SCV difference will just go saturate this new base MMA's building. It does look like MMA caught out of position a little, but is easy just going to run back and intercept this. Scan sees everything, and it can actually stim in. Or actually doesn't have stim for another 15 seconds, but will be able to shortly, but it doesn't even matter, man. Look at this.
The deployment. Yep, and I think upgrade-wise, and just he outclasses him in every respect here. He should be able to just smash Jjakji apart at this stage, and he can. The Marauders go in. That is the army completely crushed there by MMA. Almost effortless display here by the Slayers Terran, and 60 supply to 109 at this stage. Jjakji not giving in yet, but with losing that, you know, that was all he had. That was his army.
Yeah, that's it. You know, counter-attacking coming and probably game-winning. And good transfer again to that third base here. And MMA can easily ramp up production now. He's building a lot of Marine Marauders at once. We do see a single Banshee here by Jjakji moving up to the top left, picks off a Marine, and will continue towards the natural, sorry. But still, time is done here for Jjakji. This is pretty much over. And MMA looking to take a 2-0. The starting day, the first two games, 2-0 and 4-1 in maps. That's impressive, and he's going to be able to continue that going on against his later opponents, which of course is going to be Stephano and Mana. He's just beaten the two other Koreans in the group, man, or basically beaten the other two Koreans.
Yeah.
You know, he's just setting him up for an easy first place. You know, MMA, just out of this world, man. He's so good.
Yeah, it's hard to see Jjakji coming back from this position, honestly. It would require mistakes from MMA, I feel, and those mistakes are not forthcoming. MMA's played perfectly this entire... He even had a Viking just ready for that. He can't even get close. A scan comes down as the missile turret picks it up as well, and MMA building this game-winning force in the center here. He outnumbers and outguns his opponent on every possible level. +0/+0 infantry that don't even have stim versus that. Are you kidding me?
Shields.
There's the GG. Done.
Yeah, he knows
there's
no way he can win. There's no way he can win from there. And that's, like I said, MMA now jumps to the top of the group, followed, of course, by Stephano in second after winning 2-0 versus Mana. Not so good for the other two Koreans, though. 0-1, 0-1, of course, and Mana also being 0-1. But this opens up, an incredible group that really is going to come down to, maybe Stephano, MMA, just like we saw MVP versus MC. This is just incredible, man. It's going to be such a fun group going through from here.
Yeah. Every group is a fun group in this particular tournament, and I am looking forward to the next show, man. I really, really am. And we may, by the looks of it, actually have 4 best-of-3s for you. We are trying to ramp things up here, and if we can bring you 4 best-of-3s, it looks like we will.
Yes, I think so. I think that's the case.
Yeah, I believe that is the plan. We shall check with the organisers at this stage. But whatever the case, you have been watching the IronSquid and the starting day of Group C that has proved to be quite eventful one way or the other. We have MMA at the top of the group without question. Stephano starting to chase, taking his first game quite easily against Mana, and both, unfortunately, live, and Jjakji taking some crushing losses against the Slayers superstar. We'll be back with yet more action from the IronSquid on Sunday, folks, and you do not want to miss that. So please do not forget that it's actually happening. But if you did miss anything from this show, there will be a rerun a few hours afterwards for the guys in North America, just to make things easier for you guys to watch. And this will all be rerun before the show on Sunday. So no problems at all. You've got all sorts of opportunities to watch this. And remember, there are VODs available for most of the games on ironsquid.tv, which is exactly where you'll also find the Facebook and Twitter pages. So thank you once again to our sponsors, Astro Gaming and Twitch.tv, for making this tournament possible. And remember to tune in next time. My name has been Total Biscuit.
And I've been Diapollo.
And we'll see you next time.